You know, leaving the house, this hat seemed like a good option, but I'm starting to regret that now. That's a little bit better. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I'm driving a 1993 BMW 325IS. Up front is a 2.5 liter inline 6, and down below is a 5-speed manual gearbox. Now, if you haven't seen any of my video reviews before, what I do is I talk about the engine and transmission, then I talk about the interior, what features I get, that sort of thing, and then I talk about my overall general feelings on the car. So let's get started with that 2.5 liter straight 6. Now that's what BMW is known for, and I've said it in every BMW review that I've ever done. I actually recently did a 5 Series wagon, and the torque that they produce and the sound is just, it's like nothing else. Oh man, I love the sound of a straight 6 BMW, I really do. It's might be one of my favorite sounds. This car is straight piped after the Cat, so it makes it sound a little bit better. Like I said, what I love about the inline 6s is the torque that you get. I'm cruising in 4th gear, and in my RX-7, cruising in 4th gear, I put my foot to the floor. I'm gonna feel something, but not a whole lot. This, 4th gear, and it starts pulling again, which is nice. The transmission, like I said, is a 5-speed stick shift, and like most other BMWs, in order to get into reverse, you gotta really muscle it towards you and then up into, well, really where first is, muscle it to the left and all the way up, and that's reverse for you. It has that little safety lockout. Now let's talk about the interior. In front of me are those classic BMW white gauges. You guys know I love. They're great. What I did notice on this one, and I don't know if I've just not noticed it on previous ones or whatnot, but there's actually a red line at 55 on the speedometer, because that at the time was the top speed that you could really go here in America. So manufacturers actually put red lines on 55. That's why in some Fox bodies, the speedometer actually only goes up to 80. My RX-7 has a little arrow pointing to 55. Again, this car also has an MPG gauge on the dash, which is weird. I don't really know why BMW did this. It's kind of a gimmicky sort of thing, but it's there. It's there in the E30, it's there in the E36. Now this car has an aftermarket steering wheel, which is really nice. If you guys are looking for simple modifications, find a wheel that you like and stick with it, because it really does help the feel of the car. And this is perforated leather, which feels really nice. To the left, I have my headlight options. Then to the right of me, I get a giant air vent. It's one giant air vent to my right, which is really funny looking. It just it swoops kind of along with the dash, which is actually sort of cool. Then down below that, you get your cassette player. Yeah, cassette player. As well as this car has a 6 CD changer that's in the trunk. So you control it up here, but the actual disc changer is in the trunk. And it comes with this fun little feature that whenever you hit a hard bump, it skips the CD. So when you're driving, it's a safety feature. You know, it pauses the music and says, hey, you hit a kind of hard bump. And that's a safety feature that BMW put in there. Then down below that, climate control, that sort of thing. Nothing really fancy there. And then down below that is another readout, which gives you not only the time, but you can get your average speed, clock, date, memo. You have a timer, so if you want to time your lap times or toge times or whatever, you can actually set a little timer. It has a bunch of fun little buttons, a lot of functionality right there down at the bottom, which is really nice. Then you have your shifter, which in front of the shifter are your heated seat options, which are nice. Then your window switches. This is a BMW, and they put the window switches down in the middle, kind of like a Jeep. Then a giant hazard button. Then to sort of wrap up the interior, over to the right here, in front of the passenger has 2 dials for their vent, for how much aircon they want, which seems pretty standard, but they're like big dials that you'd find like on the center stack, not over there. So this car is known as the E36. It's the body style that BMW had at the time for the 3 Series. And I've reviewed other E36s before. I did the 318 Ti, which is the shortened, more economy version. And I've done the E36 convertible in automatic. And now I'm doing this E36. And I have to say, this is the best that I've reviewed. Although, we'll get into it later, but I have driven actually on this exact road, I've driven an E36 M3, which hopefully it didn't work out last fall and it's away for winter, but hopefully I can get that on camera sometime in the spring and actually bring you guys the full M3 review, because that's something special there. But I have to say, for non-M cars, this is the best E36 I've driven. The 318 Ti was a 4-cylinder, it was a 1.9 liter, and it was fun, but in like the Miata sense of fun, where you're using 100% of the power all the time, and that's what's fun. But this car, it definitely has more. It feels like it packs more of a punch, and that's because it does. It's a 2.5 liter. It's 0.6 liters bigger than the 4-cylinder, not to mention 2 more cylinders. And so I'm really starting to understand why the E36s are such culturally important cars. Is that how I want to say it? They're important to car culture. They're very easy to find, and people turn these things into drift missiles, project cars. They swap the M engine into them. They swap other BMW engines into them. They swap everything into them. This is kind of like almost the German 240SX for the current day. I don't know what it'll be in years, but this is kind of the go-to cheap German platform, and I understand why. With a few bolt-ons, this car not only sounds great, but it produces a lot of torque. You weld a diff or get a limited slip, and it's super easy to slide. I mean, that's just it. It's a really good platform. The way my life is set up right now is that I drive my RX-7 in the summertime, but once salt hits the ground here in the Midwest, I put that thing away, and I drive a automatic 4-cylinder Pontiac G6. And while I can't complain because it gets me around, I wish I had an E36 to drive. I really do. I think this would be a great little car just to kind of mess around with. They've come down in price significantly, obviously, since they were first introduced. And so it would be really easy to pick one of these up. And there are times I ask myself, why don't I? Why don't I just get an E36? I've loved every BMW I've ever driven. Every single one of them. I've never been let down by a single BMW. And I mean, come on, that noise, come on. And yeah, sure, there are kind of worries that come with buying a German car, because some people feel like German cars aren't reliable. But this car has 191,000 miles on the original engine. And I'm pretty sure original trans as well. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So really what we're looking at, or what we're dealing with, is, as far as I can tell in all my research, and this is really the German platform. That's what it comes down to. Asia has the 240SX. America has the Fox body. But this is Germany's. This is Germany's. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something about the 1993 BMW 325IS. But again, hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.
There goes a sight from my soul.